See, this is the annoying thing about committing to a fair and balanced NRL YouTube channel, because when Origin comes around, it means I have to acknowledge the presence of Queensland. And you have to understand that is a very difficult thing for me to do. But no, in all seriousness, this is a big series for the Queensland Maroons on a number of fronts. Billy Slater was outcoached all ends up by Michael Maguire in last year's series, culminating in a Game 3 loss at Suncorp Stadium in a game that the Maroons were not supposed to lose. That introduces pressure, not only on the coach, but also on the incumbent players. There's a real change in the guard happening right now for the Queensland Maroons, and striking that perfect balance between the new and the old is the key to maintaining success throughout this transition period. Kalyn Munster has Tom Dearden right behind him at the moment. Daly Cherry-Evans has Sam Walker and Toby Sexton. Valentine Holmes has Selwyn Cobbo and Jack Howard. The list goes on. This is a massive series for Queensland, and if I were picking the team to orchestrate their comeback story, this is what I'd pick. Starting out of the back, it's Kalyn Ponga. Now, is he currently the most informed fullback in the league? No. I'd argue his form has actually been particularly disappointing, but his entire Knights team has struggled. I do have confidence that if you put Kalyn in that maroon jersey, surrounded by other elite players, his performances will get better. Incumbent Reece Walsh isn't an option given his injuries, and he's got pretty bad form himself. It does just kind of mean Queensland are a bit low on options in the fullback jersey. I mean, they could take a real gamble and play Cameron Munster out the back, but well, while he has played Origin at that level before, he's not specialised to that position. At that point, I mean, just go with Ponga. On the wing, Xavier Coates is a very solid choice. He's a player who seems to be adding more and more to his game every season and has become a really important part of that team down there in Melbourne. He's only 24, but already has 10 Origin appearances to his name. Realistically, probably has this wing spot locked down for as long as he plays NRL. Moving on straight into the centres, and this is the first of a number of really interesting decisions that the Queensland Maroons have to make. I've spoken about the changing of the guard for Queensland, and this is one of the positions where it is going to take place soon. I've gone with the incumbent Valentine Holmes for his high quality kicking at the Origin level, and the fact that he consistently pulls out high quality performances for Queensland. But turning 30 very soon, this might be Val's last opportunity in the jersey. Selwyn Cobbo is a better physical matchup against the likes of Latrell Mitchell, and both Jack Howarth and Robert Toya are already playing NRL at a very good level. There is a big point to prove here for Val. One man who doesn't have that same pressure though is Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. He's looked like an Origin superstar ever since he came into the arena. And despite only having 7 games to his name, he's already scored 9 Origin tries. That's halfway to Inglis's all-time record of 18 tries, except Inglis did it in 32 games. Hammer is well on track to smash that record. He's genuinely an automatic in this side. And outside him, I've gone with Murray Taulagi. Now, Taulagi is a guy who, I will admit, I don't see the same stuff from as a lot of other people do. He comes across to me as a very solid winger. I mean, he's strong, but he's not the strongest. He's fast, but he's not the fastest. But the fact is that he gets the job done. There's a reason why he consistently gets picked in Origin ahead of a guy like Selwyn Cobbo, who I think objectively is probably the more talented. I mean, Cobbo could give you a lot more X factor in this position, but personally, I am done doubting Taulagi. I mean, he has been a very consistent Origin player throughout his career and deserves his spot in this side. He's a reliable player for the Maroons, and I don't suspect there's going to be much debate around his position. Cameron Munster, though, at 5'8", is another guy whose position is directly under threat. Tom Dearden is nipping at his heels, and many people already have Dearden ahead of Munster in this side. Munster once again gets the benefit of incumbency, but a poor Game 1 performance could see Dearden go straight into this side. I personally think it has been some years since we've seen the best of Cameron Munster, but his form so far this season for the Storm does seem like a step in the right direction. And again, with his highest partner, I've gone with DCE, but he's got Sam Walker and Toby Sexton waiting for the opportunity. I mean, I even saw some people with Jamal Fogarty as the halfback for Queensland this year. I will admit, DCE hasn't been at his best so far this season, and Manly are struggling accordingly. It could be his departure from the Seagulls that is distracting him, or potentially his body is finally catching up to him. And look, this could be Roosters bias talking here, but I genuinely think that if Sam Walker didn't do his ACL last year, there's a very good chance he's making his Origin debut here in Game 1 ahead of Cherry-Evans. But DCE gets the spot, and he absolutely deserves it given everything that he's achieved at this level of the game. And if it is his last Origin series, is going to be looking to go out with a bang, that's for sure. Moving into the forwards, the Hurricane Reuben Cotter starts in the front row. How this man, standing at under 6 foot tall, holds up in the front row makes no sense. It literally defies physics. I cannot understand it. But he's a guy who gets a spot in this team, no questions asked, and he will be for many years to come. I mean, he tackles at well over 90% at the origin level, which is very, very impressive. Absolute no-brainer to have him in the side. At 9, similarly to Reuben Cotter, Harry Grant is an automatic. But he'll be playing a slightly different role this year, with Ben Hunt unavailable to start a hooker through injury. As you could tell by the thumbnail for this video, I do have another hooker in this side, and if the Queensland coaches do want to go with Grant off the bench, I would understand it. I mean, they've consistently gone that way for the past few years, but I do expect that his experience would see him start, and if I were in charge, I think I'd be leaning in that direction. He's definitely in the side. The question is just whether it's at 9 or at 14. And the other front rower is Tino Fa'ausamaleaui, who again, another complete automatic for this side and is literally Queensland's Payne Haas. Tino is an absolute freak of a player who I really feel will need to take this forward pack on his back to stand up to the Blues. He is physical, he is fit. I mean, there is absolutely no question around the selection for the Titans captain in this side. As I said, he's an automatic. Moving on, Jaydn Su'a is the first member of a back row in which I feel New South Wales have an advantage. So there's pressure on the guys in these positions to perform at a very high level for Queensland. He's got what it takes at this level though. We know that. I mean, he's a dynamic forward, he's got very good leg speed, and he's a physical guy. But to match the New South Wales back row, which could have guys like Liam Martin, Angus Crichton, and Haumole Olakau'atu in it, a guy like Jaydn Su'a needs to be at his absolute best. And I'd say the same is true for Jeremiah Nene. I mean, at his best, he is a supremely good back rower who the sky is genuinely the limit for, and Queensland need him to be that guy. He feels like he's been around for ages, but he's only 22, which makes his 8 games for Queensland all the more impressive. I'd make the argument that there's maybe fewer points in the Queensland back 5 than there is in the New South Wales one, but it's guys like Jeremiah Nene who make up that difference. He is a key part of the new guard and absolutely deserves his spot. And at lock, as if there were any question, it's Patrick Carrigan. I mean, this guy is just insanely good. Not only in terms of the physicality required to play the game through the middle, but mentally he is right up there. He hasn't played in the lock role for the Broncos this year, so might be sharing the ball playing a little bit with Reuben Cotter, but that is a system that they've used successfully in Origin before, so it's not something that I'm particularly concerned about from a Queensland perspective. Carrigan is the kind of guy that this side should be built around. And now, moving on to the bench, we've got one of 2 debutants in this side in Reid Marnie. Marnie's been very close to debuting in the past and gets his chance this time around given his very good form for the Bulldogs in recent seasons and of course the injury to Ben Hunt. Marnie will have all the motivations of any debuting player, but will want to make sure that he puts in a performance that is good enough to ensure that Billy Slater can't recall Ben Hunt into the side for Game 2. Inherently though, just like Harry Grant, whether he starts or comes off the bench is something that I don't think we're actually going to know until an hour before kickoff, but it's something that I'll be watching very closely. But I'm confident Marnie will get this spot, and he very much deserves it. In jersey 15, I've gone with Lindsay Collins. He's been out injured for a little while, but there's a very good chance of returning this week. But while admittedly I haven't found his club form the most impressive, he's one of these guys who just puts on that Maroons jersey and absolutely transforms. Not to mention, at 29, he's under some serious pressure of losing his jersey to 25-year-old Mo Fotuaika. And if Queensland do lose Game 1, and it looks like they might be set to lose their 2nd series in a row, that's the kind of change that they might be making for Game 2. So the pressure is really on Lindsay Collins, and I'm very interested to see how he responds to that. We've seen him put in man-of-the-match performances at the Origin level before, but those are getting longer in the memory, so I'm really keen to see how he goes this time around. And returning to the Origin arena after 2 years, I've got Dolphins captain Tom Gilbert. There's other guys who I could have gone with in this position, the likes of Fotuaika, Corey Horsburgh, Jai Arrow. I mean, I could go on. But Gilbert does seem like a really good squad member, and can easily play both in the middle and on the edge at a high quality. Middle forward would be his primary role in my side, because I think Queensland will have to set up to counter the likes of Payne Haas and hopefully Terrell May, but Gilbert is up to that task. At 24 years old as well, he's a guy who could genuinely be in this side for a while, and I really hope we get to see him back at the Origin level. And lastly, in jersey 17, I've gone with Beau Fermor. Now, those of you who watch my live streams when the Titans play know how much I love this guy, and he's been in and around the Queensland squad before, a bit like Reid Marnie. but his form this year has just been so impressive to me. And crucially, and this is probably what gets him in this side, he is very capable of playing centre, which is so important in modern Origin if one of the back five goes off with a HIA. Billy Slater could pick, say, Kurt Capewell in this role, who I actually think has been in kind of decent form. But Beau Fermor is a guy who I think really deserves this opportunity, and if he does get it, I am so excited for him. So anyway, there we have it. This is the Queensland side that I think Billy Slater should pick and take into this series to get his beloved Queensland back to winning ways. One thing that really does stand out to me about this side is the number of captains that are in it. I mean, I'm just looking at it here. You've got Knights captain Kalyn Ponga, Sea Eagles captain DCE, Titans captain Tino, Storm captain Harry Grant, Cowboys co-captain Reuben Cotter, Dolphins captain Tom Gilbert, and while Patrick Carrigan isn't officially a captain of the Broncos, he's probably one of the best leaders out of all of those guys. To be fair, I mean, my New South Wales side also has a few captains in it. Check that out after this if you haven't already. But I think it's a real strength that Queensland can tap into when things do get tough out there on the field. Anyway, as you always do, let me know all the reasons why I'm wrong in the comments below. I cannot wait to talk more Origin in the coming months. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.